as I let the other, then I can say, hi, I'm Brenda Power, Medicine Woman. I'm grateful to be here today and tonight. Oh, one of these days I'm going to get in sync. There's been a lot of energy going on. Apparently Facebook is doing a lot of upgrading. So not sure if it will shut off, hopefully not midstream. If not, if it does, Facebook's here, YouTube's there. YouTube is recording as well. Yes, it looks like it is. I did a show today on my extra page. I have an extra fan page, and I did a show on there, which was really good. So I upgraded the video, Wow, Spirit, I'm just out of alignment. We're going to have to get in alignment right here now. And I'm just going to ask Spirit to realign me. I can't get my words and my thoughts in a line. I do know that there's a major shift going on the planet. For instance, there's a major incoming wave. Let's see. It's going to last about 8 hours. They said that this particular wave is a significant and it's an internal shift for some people. It affects everyone at the particular energetic frequency that they are on their path. Some may not even affect at all. There are various variable incoming waves, and this is prior to a huge incoming energy wave that brings about a significant change. So, it's like, whew, I can feel it. My brain and other part of me are just kind of out of whack long enough. I'm going to just do a Wayne Cook, which you cross your ankles and you put your hands together if those of you are here to join me. Because of this energetic wave, there is no time. There's no time left to distract or be distracted by the solution. It's time to wake up. And that's very interesting to know that this has been going on for a long time, but now the shift is being really pushed. Then they say that multiple dimensional realities become your experience. Your higher level of consciousness naturally becomes your experience. That's good for us that are intentionally living to have become a spiritual human. Again, my brain is not quite in sync with my mouth. That's okay. We're just going to ask all those that are having issues like I am to unplug from the old, plug into the third option, which is into the Christ consciousness, the level that's there. And we just ask for a recalibration. Also, with this shift, everything runs parallel as we raise frequency and light quotient. The lower dimensional experiences, the 3D, 4D, is seen as collapsing for us as our own experience. We'll see it through, though. There's just you have woke enough to take that shift, which is necessary. So as you begin to hit your true authenticity, it'll be like multidimensional. You'll be able to feel and the vibration and the frequencies. And I don't know how you want to say it. Your knowing will become more knowing. God, that one took forever. Okay, some switch. And again, some people are going to have to really look at what it is that they haven't uncovered. So stress, anxiety, all that stuff. You might become more aware of it. There is a shift. Now I can feel the top of my head tingling. So, all of you out there there it is. Any of those that want it. We're just going to raise the frequency. Help everybody coming alive. Oh yeah, a huge 5D upgrade. Right now we're just helping you connect into that. There it is. Now we have to look at sending the energies to help you disconnect those that no longer serve and help you to awaken to that. That energy is going to continue to keep going and help us recalibrate. Okay. Getting back to the show. Welcome all of you here. And thank you. Yep, you're still going to be shifting for, I feel like an hour. In my brain, if I can't get my words to follow and it starts to sound jumbled and I'm not aware of it, please let me know, because sometimes when spirit is coming in, I can't get this physical form sometimes to line up. So if I do a lot more hesitating than I normally do, it's not that I don't know my stuff. It's just that I'm realigning and downloading as I'm teaching at the same time. So you talk about multitasking. So today I decided to curl my hair just a little bit, but that was a couple hours ago. Now it's starting to all fall out. I don't know what's going over here. Oh, sorry. I'm just waiting for another shift to come. So somebody... Oh my God. Now all of a sudden my stomach meridian just, the meridian flipped. I could feel it in my stomach. There, all of a sudden the galactic stomach meridian just connected. And now the earth stomach meridian just connected. And now I feel like they're straightening me out. That's better. Yeah, you guys may not be aware of it. You may just call it life. Okay, now let's get going. Good morning to all of you. So good to hear. And there was somebody that had a dream, and I thought it was kind of fascinating to understand that when you begin to intentionally waken up. So some of you did the Lionsgate with me. And the meditation helps you to get more connected into the light languages, the sigils. That energy is coming more stronger so that we can start remembering the old information. And we are moving more into that fifth dimension. So that means that the reptilian part of our brain, the ancient memories, don't get it confused by reptilian stuff. This is what they call that. But it is all ancient memories. It's where if you were to tap into that, you would instantly heal. If you tapped into that, you would instantly remember everything. It's the veil to some degree. And there's ways of tapping into it. So dreaming is very important. When I create my classes, one of the things I will highly suggest when you become a spiritual human is to take the dream course, because it may sound simple and you're like, I know it all, but understanding the importance of why we dream and why you need to decipher it to some degree. Once you do, it'll be so amazing. You're like, oh, it connects with your life. You can feel the familiarity. You understand the direction you're going. So, oops. It would help if I actually had where to put the dream. And I'm going to read what it was. It was small. And small dreams can be just as important, if not more powerful sometimes, because it gets right to the point. And as it gets right to the point, usually the last line of the dream is what's very significant if you can't remember anything else. And it would be good that I can remember where I could find my friend. There she is. Natasha Jane Pustak, or whatever, Natasha, that's what I'll just call you. She had an operation on her vocal cords. Wow. Anyway, she says, I woke up in the theater and I kept screaming. It was so hauntingly familiar. A few nights before, I had a dream that the doctor was asking me to sign my name, and I kept signing a male's name. So let's take that first part of the dream. Doctor represents your need for emotional and spiritual healing. The signature represents the agreement and acceptance for a particular condition or situation. And kind of look at it as a way of a seal of approval. You're taking charge and accepting responsibility of a situation. The man represents the aspect of yourself that's about assertiveness, aggression, rational, competitive. And maybe they're asking you to incorporate it, or you are incorporated. We'll see. Now, I had to throw this in here because she was a woman and had writing a male signature. So it's accepting and welcoming your stronger, assertive personality. So when you look at this, that looks like it doesn't mean anything, but to her, she may understand it completely what I said because she knows what's going on in her day-to-day living. Being that she had to have an operation, so she is taking and knowing that something needs to be healed, and she's accepting it, and she's giving the approval to that she's going to heal, and she's going to start integrating her yin and yang, that feminine and male aspect. So she'll be a little bit more assertive to do what she needs to do. The second part, another dream she had, was that she had 3 crooked, rusty nails. One of them was in her shirt pocket over my heart. Now, we're doing a lot of heart. That's one of the things we're going to be talking about tonight is forgiveness in the heart. You'll see what I'm talking about. So 3 is that triad. It is the Mother, Father, God. It is that it is an interesting balance of 3. That's funny enough. I forgot to write what does 3 mean. But that means the Trinity. Let me look it up without losing the board. See, I'm slowing right down again. Oh, okay. My brain is downloading some more stuff. Just let me get that in there. Oh. It doesn't hurt. It's my body will do energy shifts. A lot of you may see me jerk. It may look like I have a spasm. Okay. But I'm just integrating, and instead of letting it burn me out, instead of letting it, I push it away. No, it's taking and assimilating and recalibrating on a whole nother level. So the 3 represents creativity, communication, and natural rhythm, and charismatic and creativity. Now, I can't stop saying the word now. Wow, here we go again. I really thought I was going to not do this, but it is. Nails represent the long, hard road and work for little compassionation and compensation and pay. So you're working really hard for nothing. And the rust is part of the nails is neglect, disappointment, depression. You're not utilizing your talents. So you have this creativity that you're not able to get to reach your full potential. That shirt represents your emotions or emotional situation. It shows you your level of consciousness, your level of attitude. And because it's in the pocket, it's hidden talents, undeveloped abilities. not utilizing your strengths again. And in your heart is that love. It is that finding that passion, and it's allowing yourself to get into that next phase of who you are. So you know the healing you need to do, you know the assertiveness you need to do, but there's a part of you that has got to switch the level of thinking that you have to work hard for nothing. You need to address certain levels of your thinking. So this goes into what's important to what I'm going to be talking about tonight. The subject about tonight has a lot to do with forgiveness and for, there goes my, sorry, God, this is, no, I'm going to stick with it. I can do this. Oh my God, this energy is fascinating. A lot of colors going on, so it makes it very hard to read and focus. You may notice my color of my eyes have changed, or the shape of my eyes, or something shape. I can feel the shift in my face. This side's gone up. This side's now it's really changing shape. That's right. Natasha's on. She says, that's interesting. I've only just written those poems. So that makes sense to you about all of that? That is very good. Wow, James, that's really good. James says he had a dream about events that came true, and about a week ago it was a futuristic dream, and everything happened exactly how the dream was. Yeah, you guys are gonna, your abilities, they're gonna just be natural. You have them. We all have them. Some of us have tapped into them sooner. Some of us have remembered them more. Some of them we didn't shut it off. We were just told it's wrong, or look over there, not here. Okay. Oh, Natasha, I just seen purple over youth area, throat areas. Interesting. Yeah, that ability to communicate. Okay, so I'm losing fans. I'm going to get my shit together, eh? Okay. Here we go. Remember to share, get a card, especially to groups. That helps out tremendously. I need a new pair of glasses. Part of me needs to take these contacts out, but I'm doing my best to see. I just realized no matter what money I'm going to make, I'm going to end up buying my glasses first before I get my website, because I can't see out of my old ones, and because my eyes have improved. But these contacts, it's like, oh, for some reason I can't see them. Let's get into tonight's subject. It's about forgiveness, and it's about attraction. Forgiveness, that's what hope therapy does. When we tap into your innate, when I say we, Spirit is telling me to help you to heal. So you're basically doing all the healing. I'm just doing a little guidance. You are tapping into that innate wisdom. When you can't forgive, it's because you have had the experience and you over-identified with it, and then you held on to it. Okay, you accepted, you believe it, and you gave your willpower to it. Now it owns you because it can override you on your certain emotions. And so as this happens, it's the emotions that run through our meridians have a hard time for us to forgive, and we don't want to forgive sometimes. We're just like, our ego tries to tell us that don't forgive, because then that's how I keep you protected. And it's no, because energetically you're losing power. Energetically, you're keeping it alive, and the law of attraction says what you focus on is what you get. So the more you're saying, I'm not done, I'm not going to think about this, but your body then says, but you didn't take care of it, it's here. And so then your body knows you better than you do. So you'll create symptoms that are like, oh God, here we go. And you're like, you're not even sure why you're dreading that moment, but it triggered, you're dreading it, but you didn't take care of the issue. So it's unresolved. It sits in the body, and then the body says, okay, you're ignoring me. You don't want to deal with that. Okay, but there's enough energy to say, I didn't want to deal with it. That energy is your life force, and it's keeping it alive. So healing means we take our energy off it. And how do we do that? And we let the innate body to resolve it down. Hope therapy can be incredible work because it helps bring the blood back up to your forebrain where you create reality. Okay. Oh, and my throat area. How cool is that? Yeah, so you're seeing spirit move through. That's good. So forgiveness isn't about for anybody. Okay, but you. You're learning that the brain is a mirror. So you need to forgive yourself. You need to forgive, and in the other person, it's like you can't forgive, especially if the ego's in charge. So hope therapy puts you in the position of tapping into those emotions, which are live chemical peptides that are firing, and you're addicted to it. So you can't stop thinking about it. And most people think, oh, I can stop thinking about it, but you're just repressing, and suppressing it. What happens is that disease comes about, frustration comes about. Your life will start showing you those little things that, I don't remember my past. Everything was good. But your body's going, it's still there. And here's proof. And your heart is saying that it's time to wake up. Now, we want the healing to occur. So just understand this. If you're thinking positive, today's a good day, okay? And you have this program that's running inside you, but you're thinking positive thoughts. I'm going to do positive attraction. I'm going to put it out there and it's going to come back to me. And, I really feel it. And if the body is holding a particular fear about that particular subject, like towards and away from, you want to go towards your goal of losing weight, but you're afraid that if you do, then people might rape you. I mean, that's just the extreme of how some programs are written. So you've got this fight going on, you just don't know it. And what will happen is that your energy in the body is vibing at a very low negative field. So if you hate somebody, you dislike the behavior, whatever, okay, it's vibrating. So you're happy and you're like, woohoo. You got to remember, where does all that store? In the nervous system. Okay. You have a bad experience, it just goes into the nervous system. You have, and then the bad experience creates negative thoughts. And so you can hear your emotions. So you can hear what happened. You can hear the programs. You can hear your decisions. I had to, I was working on something and somebody, it says, why aren't you coming to my group? And I'm like, what group? And then they're blasting me because I didn't do what they wanted. And I'm like, well, sorry. And then I found myself explaining. I'm like, why am I explaining myself? That's odd. So I let it go. And then I got so curious because then all of a sudden I realized my body goes, did you know you twanged vibratingly low about that? I did not. Oh, I did. So then I had to find myself and I went to go and remove myself because the energy wasn't going to fit. And I still got to investigate. So I'm looking through, commented here and there. And yeah, you're just out of sync. It's just, and okay. But I could not unfriend. I could not get out of the group. I thought, what's wrong with me? And I started noticing there was my 2-year-old's memories of, I don't remember that I was 2. Okay. But there's that familiarity of emotions that if I do that I'm going to get hurt somehow. And so I healed all this. And the 41 thoughts per minute was, I had like 8 of them that were about that subject and they kept coming every hour. I'm like, okay, I got to heal that. So that's your warning sign. Began to heal that, get it down. Thoughts weren't there, but I still couldn't unfriend and couldn't leave the group. And I'm looking, I'm like, oh, this is fascinating. And I'm watching behaviors and emotions, and I'm seeing the colors, and I'm seeing not only that, but I also can see the scent of the disgustedness. And it's like, oh, okay. And I thought, okay, that's enough. And all of a sudden, I noticed that this person posted a video. So oh, well, I don't know why, but I had to push play. And then as I just about pushed play, I heard, he's going to talk bad about me. And I heard it. It was in the body. It wasn't actually a thought at first. It was, and I stopped, I looked, I felt, I says, oh my God, it's about being scorned. And it was being, a little kid. And so I healed that out. And as soon as I did, I was like, oh, I was done. So I'm unfriended. Why important to tell you this is so that you understand that you're complicated, but you're not. Okay. Every emotion that you have, if your ego is telling you that, you got to kick this person to the curb, you hate them, you this and that, understand you're over identified with matter. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just that your life force there, you need to get it back. If your life force is there, it's telling the law of attraction to keep giving you more. It doesn't have to be something that you're thinking about, but your body's going, it's vibrating at low rate. So if you're thinking positive and going, oh yes, I'm going to do this today, I'm so proud of myself, blah, 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 and you got this low vibration, and you're thinking positive, and this low vibration is where? Nervous system. So when you think positive, it goes and stops at the brainstem. It cannot go into the autonomic nervous system. It cannot go past the brainstem. And you want to know why you can't manifest? It's because you haven't got your thought and your heart together. You need your heart to be involved. Your heart's already involved in being angry. People say, no, it's not. Come on. You think with your heart. What's your favorite color? You'll probably buy with your heart. Oh, I like that color. And, oh, I like that book. And you buy and you do things with your heart. And your heart even tells you, we're broken. It's their fault. Not going to do it. But that's the ego talking. It just means that you can't have joy in your heart. You can't be hardwired to your joy. You have to be hardwired to your issue. And you should not be giving your life that issue, because guess what? That issue does not need to be a thought form, does not need to come real. And that energy does not need to go feed the issue of that asshole that you kicked out of your life, because energy keeps feeding the situation. Oh, hell no. You need to just disengage from that. And it's not about forgiveness the way ego says. It's about taking in the chemical peptides, that low vibration, and vibrating it completely out, so that your heart can say, what? Oh, look it. There's my favorite color. I want to buy this. Oh, I like that. I'm going to have the passion and the purpose for doing this. And you won't even be looking back to any of those people. No, because your heart will be telling you where to go. And then the law of attraction says, oh, it's coming from the heart and the mind. You can't just do the heart. You have to have the heart and mind together. So negative thoughts, you're in your fear. And that vibration is low. So no matter how much you try to put positive thinking with the lower negative vibration, they're never going to come in sync. Okay? And you're serving the negative. That's where your energy is going. So you can't serve two masters. I mean, you literally are going to give more energy away to the negative, and that becomes your master. That becomes the one that owns you. Best way to heal is to use the tools, resolve out of it. Get into the next phase of who you are. You're not just your ego. You're not the over-identification with matter. Okay. Now, someone says I'm freezing. Now, Lenora told me that people's videos may go down or mine may go down. If that's the case, go over to YouTube. YouTube should have no problem and keep on going. All right, so you get the concept that your nervous system, if it's hardwired to a bad experience, then you're going to stay in that bad experience. You're going to tell the universe to create more of that bad experience, and it's going to cause you to keep repeating that experience. So if you want law of attraction to work for you, you have to heal the heart so that passion and that energy is there. But if you can't heal it, that's fine. Do the next thing. You know what the next thing is? practice being in compassion. Practice being in passion. Practice in being in a highly elevated vibrational rate of joy. Usually gratitude is the best one for it. And when you do that, you're creating with your heart. Oh, okay. Now, once you get that, and it's going to take some time. It's going to take some time. When you get really good at it, then you get this heart. Okay, just think of Harry Potter and abracadabra, or not abracadabra. Well, that's a magic spell, but the Patronus. You got to think positive, happy thoughts. I mean, shit's happening. You got to think good thoughts. And even when you're trying to get rid of the Bogart, you got to think funny thoughts so that you can, don't feed it. So as your heart gets into that gratitude state, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm feeling good. Then use what you want as far as manifesting to you. Because when you get that heart and then you get those thoughts in sync, that the thoughts and the emotions, okay, go to the nerves, go past the brainstem, goes into the heart. The heart then creates this energy that just starts to go out. Okay, so just to let you know, that is what you can do. But a lot of times you have to get past the hells that make us stay where we are. Okay. Well, thank you very much for sharing. And Natasha says, I thought the saying, let there always be a positive come from a negative. And that's probably true. You have different ways of thinking. You have different ways of growing. And when I'm looking at, how do you put it? When I got hope therapy, when I started to really understand the energy cords, the entanglement cords to your past, and I was reading them, I realized that I didn't have to really go out here except for just to find out the age and stuff. So I could really just look at your lines in your body and they'll pop up the vibrational emotion. And so as they pop it up, then I can read them in units and it makes sense. So when I'm doing this, I was helping myself go through a very rough time, people dying, getting a divorce, finding out your husband don't love you. You're just, you want to hold on to all that pain, but that's your ego. That's not even your authentic self. I'm talking about healing your pain so you can move into your authentic self. I don't want any part of that past except for to sculpt me into who I am by taking the wisdom. How do you get the wisdom out of that? It certainly ain't going to happen again. The thing about forgiveness is that if you do it in ego, it's going to tell you that it can't forget. Okay. It says that forgiveness and ego is that, all right, I'll tolerate. I'll indulge you. I'll give you mercy. I'll give you pity. I'll give you leniency. It doesn't forget. The emotional charge is still there. Now, if you are in spirit and you forgive, you are allowing yourself to discharge the emotion. And now all of a sudden, understanding comes into play of what your part was, why your soul said, hey, this is what you have to go through. And then when you heal and change and let go of the emotional charge, it doesn't matter who and what they are, because that's none of our business. And it's nobody's business to make me happy but myself. And I will take back my power, in which, again, I have another healing tool for that, and that's the treasure chest, the switching. So switching the cords. So what's important to understand is that wisdom comes out of that because you're touching into your heart with your higher self, which means when you begin to release the negativity, you actually get to start to come in alignment with spirit, with God, of why it's happened. And then all of a sudden you get to listen with your heart. You get to love with your heart, and your brain gets to balance, and your brain is what causes your body to keep repeating certain things. And when it becomes in sync, all of those nasty entanglement cords to the people, places, and things just start to go ping, 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 and the universe starts to rearrange everything in your favor. It's a remarkable thing. It feels good. I love to help people just, when they go, it's never going to happen this way. It's been always. And then I'll say, just to put your hand on your head, do this. Do it for yourself. It has nothing to do about forgiving anybody. It's about saying, I'm in charge of this emotion, and this emotion is not going to eat me alive. And I'm tired of feeding this damn emotion to stay alive. And when you begin to use the body's innate ability to resolve it, you will shift in leaps and bounds. Okay. Oh, here comes another shift. I can feel it. Okay, energetically, I hope that message comes through. You want to move to wisdom. And you can't do it by just thought alone. You can't do it in that vibration that your brainwave is in. You can't do it when you're in fear and negativity, because it's just going to give you a false positive. It's going to be false self-assuredness. It's not going to help you grow. It's just going to give you the same shit different day. You're just a conditioned program that's kind of, you go polish a turd. It's what it looks like. And it looks pretty just for a moment. And then you're like, oh God, that shit stinks. So it's, I can't explain it until you live it and experience it. But I'm going to do my best every day that I'm on here to help you understand you don't have to be believing that suffering is your only choice, because suffering is just an option. You're hardwired for joy. Okay. I believe. Yeah. I believe I'm ready to, if there's any questions, any comments, that's good. Oh, absolutely. It's all we are is energy and frequency. And if you can understand how the body talks, you should watch my last video. It took me a while to realize that my body is talking and I need to pay attention to it. And it's like, I'll get there. And then finally, it's like, this is what I teach people to do, is understand that the body's always constantly giving messages, but the universe is also giving messages too. So I try to help people understand how to read that. LaRonda says, oh my, Brenda, you have explained so many things that relate to my life. You're a blessing. Thank you. Oh, thank you. See, that makes me feel good, because I know that I'm on the right path of talking about what Spirit wants. I mean, this is the first time Spirit let me write stuff down. It's usually like, oh, you're on. Here's the topic now. What? Okay. So we're learning to work together, me and Spirit, because I need to get this out on paper, and so I can create those classes the way I want. All right. So it's reading. Now, just before I go into it, songbird crystal, and whatever the topic you want, just for some people that do not know, we have a deal, which is $22 for 15 minutes. And this can be after, not tonight, but tomorrow. We'll book it for whatever. And you get 15 minutes for $22. And you have a private session with me. We can get stuff taken care of really quick. Or you can pay right now, and you have to pay that right now in order for it to happen, as far as the $22. Right now, you can have $11 for 11-minute reading, or you can have a $7 for a 6-minute reading. So you can do it that. You pay through PayPal. Just remember to share and then like the show. You can get cards. Those won't come out until tomorrow after I sleep, because I'm in South Australia. Awesome. Jordania says, I see an old man sitting in the chair behind you. Not surprised, because that's where all the spirits go. To my right, ascended masters and the angels, and to the left is all the animals, and behind me are all your loved ones. And they know the routine of cattle shooting. Give me one thought and have a representative one at a time. Now, what we're going to do, Tammy Smith, songbirds heard, and any channel message, please. Oh, so Tammy, you're songbird. Yes? Why can't I remember that? Yeah, it's not hard to get PayPal. Right now, that's the only option I have. I'm in South Australia. Everything's kind of limited. So for some of you that are new, you're going to find out. So this person has paid $11, and it's about whatever spirit wants. It sounds quite vague, but it's not. I mean, spirit, your loved ones, everybody will come around and go, oh, okay, this is what the subject is. This is what we want you to look at. And spirit will guide you. And if you need healing, that can happen too. I guess we're a little closer. Oh, timer. Good point. Remember that to share with me when you understand something. Where are we going? You're going to go with one word or two? Distrust. So deep down, about 1 year old, you learned about distrusting. You watched, I'm assuming your parents fought or somebody fought in front of you. I see 2 adults in front of a child. And it is, you learn about distrust. Energetically, you could see about distrust. So there's a part of you that was afraid to, trust. So I don't know if this happened or not, but they're just giving me the example. It's like all of a sudden it's like, okay, high five, give me a five, give me 5. And then all of a sudden they pull their hand away. Just little things. High five, oops, you missed, or bonk you on the head, or whatever that was. And so it was kind of, you weren't sure, should you play the game or should you not? The reason they're bringing that up is because there are pictures. You have pictures in the memory that has to do with resonates what? What are these resonating? Next page. Oh, what are we resonating on? Okay, so when you're around people, you pick up the subconscious mind of other people. So when you're around people, you'll have different certain pictures. And so the pictures from the past of 1 year old, do you smell it? No. You hear it. So you hear the vibration of that same signature you picked up of distrust when you were 1. And does it overlay? No, it actually exact match. So here's the problem with people's thinking. We think and we think and we think. We have 41 thoughts per minute. We have 60 to 70,000 thoughts per day. And a lot of them are quiet. Some are loud. Some are annoying. Some are about, oh, God, I can't stand this. It's all about whining to some degree. It's negative to some, and it's like, oh, yeah. And then there's a part of your body that's whining. And I know I just said that, but that's what it does. It repeats the same crap, and it goes on and on and on and on. And so when you pick up somebody that says, having a private thought, this is why you don't ever want to read people's minds, because some of the thoughts they think, you thought, but then you take it personal if you really knew that they're like, oh, I don't like her. And it has nothing to do with whether they don't like you. It is, they don't like a particular behavior that's probably coming from you that reminds them of somebody else. So you're talking about filters. They're saying that's what you picked up, is that you attract people to you. So you at 1 year old, you understood what distrust was, and that energy is that you're looking for it because you don't want it to happen again. Now you're older, you don't know you're doing this, but the energy is telling the law of attraction to keep bringing those people to you. So this program that's unresolved is vibrating at a low rate. The universe is responding to you, and it's giving you people that you're not supposed to trust. Yeah. When that level of distrust begins to happen, you're like, oh, but I can't be myself. And so there's a party that kind of starts to do a withdrawal. And it's not maybe a physical, but you're like, hey, I'm a psychic. But then when you see that energy, you're like, hey, I'm going to go get some ice cream. Or, yeah, I agree with you, even though your topic was going to be something else. Okay. And what they're saying is that you put self-imposed limitations to stop yourself to be who you really want to be in front of people. So you learn to contract and become less than around certain people's voices, because the little girl inside of you says, they have more power than I got. They're more important than I got. The adult you doesn't really give rat's ass. They don't really think this. But again, it's the program, not who you are at this moment. So you keep repeating certain things. Yes, suppression, see? Just I understand the message. See, and this is what's important, is that Spirit talks to you and tells you. Compelled to correct yourself. And it's a nasty habit because it literally stops you from developing your leadership. Because you attract in bullying energy. Well, I got to look at this, because the bullying energy is that most people don't know they're bullying. It's like when they do name calling, or it's, you're a joke. That's bullying. There's a whole different range of what bullying is. But in this case, it is, when you get teased, some people use it as bullying. But they just like, one of my exes would always say to me in a very joking manner, I'm a good guy, but yet he would joke about it. And every single one of those words behind that joke was meant to intentionally hurt me. And it's like, would you just stop that? I get it. You don't like me, but yet you ain't going to leave. I don't get it. Okay. But I saw through what was happening. What about it? You're beginning to learn how to define those emotions, describe what you're feeling. And I'm going to tell you the best way to do this is to get yourself a list. Okay, a list of negative emotions. And if you can pendulum or you can muscle test, if you were to say, like, because this is a list of emotions, I'll say, what emotion does she have a hard time defining? And that is, when I become irrelevant? Well, see, I just pendulumed, got the word. But if I'm not sure what that means in the situation I'm doing, oh, thank God for Google. Okay, you Google the ass out of that and you get all the different definitions, and you're like, and then Spirit will help you understand even more. So then you're going to see, and if you say, thank you, Spirit, we'll create experiences so that you can see them. And you're like, I'm doing it right now. Oh, I just allowed that. When you begin to see those little things, you're like, oh, hell no. Or, oh, shit, I got to heal something because I just did it again. When I began to wake up and I realized I was doing that, I was like, huh. And when I caught it, and I healed it out. My ex was just notorious for gaslighting me, and my body would always respond, and the same shit, different day would always happen. And when I heard it, and I asked my friend, she says to me, he's gaslighting you. I'm like, what? I didn't even know what that word was. I researched it. I got the wisdom, and then I healed it. I used hope therapy, and for you guys, you can use EFT. And I watched. And when he did it again, I didn't have any twangs. I didn't have any energy loss. I didn't have my ego telling me, oh, you got to get mad. No, I just looked at him and thought, it's not going to work this time. I'm holding my power. And so then I just got up and I'm like, God, you almost done? Oh, that pissed him off when he couldn't create that affliction. It's like, but it stopped because it's not that I had to surrender and accept that was happening. I found out by defining the words, and that's what they're telling you, is that you can get so much ahead of everybody else when you, and like I said, if you don't know how to muscle test or do pendulum work, I'm going to get those classes out there, but I suggest you even get a list and you're like, oh, I wonder what that weird means. And then you go look it up and you're like, oh, that's it. Or no, that ain't it. Oh, how about this word? Oh, yeah. So you don't have to know tools how to do it. You do know, it helps you define and get more in tune with who you are. And that's what you're looking for. They're saying you're afraid to do an expand importance of self, because if you don't do the expand importance of self, you're not going to develop. But ego says, well, if I do this expand important self, okay, you look and you're like, oh, there's a butthead that does the expand important stuff. I hate that. I'm not doing that. So your heart says, I hate that. I'm not doing that. And the universe says, well, here's your energy. We're going to put it over here to keep it alive. So now it's got to constantly, and then spirit, then your life is saying, well, you need to expand yourself so that you can grow. But your program says she can't. She hates that. So the program is not going to allow her to expand herself without making her feel like shit. You just can't. And, it's not that your subconscious mind is taking it personal. It's just that it's trying to follow the GPS and coordinates that you put in. Says this is the way it's got to be. So every time you try to veer off track, correction, you need to turn left at the, you get a correction. You're back on track. And you're like, but I was doing so good. How did I get, because the GPS is still set. This says you're supposed to keep following this path. Okay. You have created a repulsion to certain people, which means you're physically going to start getting sick around people. I have a special healing tool for that, but we only have 43 seconds left. But you can correct that so your body doesn't have to lose power, because it's more than just an emotion. It is just a revulsion. But you want their energy to come back to compatibility so that your electromagnetic energy doesn't throw you off balance, because that's what you're made of. You're electromagnetic. When you, they say that incompatibility, you're a minus 3. Now, so you must have physical symptoms to some degree. So you may want to decide to heal this. That's all I can say. You may want to make an appointment with me so we can address whatever physical symptom. Like people have allergies, chances are it's either a genetic line that happens, or it is your body created a repulse, and what it does is they're magnetically off. So if you were taught that chocolate makes you sick and you're not really allergic, but yet you get symptoms, that's a repulse on something that you can't tolerate or you became sensitive to. Those can be repaired. Well, I hope you liked your reading. And again, if any of this works, sticks, great. And, recommend me, share me, whatever. So I thank you for honoring me by paying me. That helped. I believe there is another reading. I can never say her name, though. Sujata. Where are you, sweetheart? I've seen you just for a moment that you come on. How awesome. There you are. Oh, well, I have to wait to come on. Anyway, Sujata, what do you want me to talk about, my dear? Anything specific? Because I know that you've been developing and growing, and she was in one of the Lionsgate, and I know she's been developing her skills. You're welcome, Tammy. Okay, so I'll wait for her to come back, and we're going to check over here. So yes, there will be free readings, but it'll be a 1-minute free reading after the paid readings. It's always important to have spirit talk first, because spirit's the one that really wants to put on the show. It really wants you to get it. It really wants you to grow so that you can be the new you in this new 5D world. Yeah, there you go. Oh, thanks. Beautiful woman. What do you want to talk about, sweetheart? So I'll look up. I'll get started, and then I'll look up. So have you know what sigils are? SIGIL. You're supposed to be working more with those energies. You already know this, but they're saying, like, do some research, work with the angels and the masters and whoever else. Where are you going? You can't be yourself about something. So you're 4 years old. Your 4-year-old created a unit. How many are involved? 1, 2. Large intestine and lung. The unit is about overtime hopelessness, and the lung is the can't be me. So even though you're developing yourself here, your program is saying, I really can't be me. And it's hard to say, what is me? So this can't be me, and you're not sure how to develop that. Is that a symptom? Yes. So you know how you get a symptom with a boo-boo and it hurts, or you can't think? That is a symptom. Well, this situation that you can't think of is, or you can't be yourself, is coming from the unit of the large intestine and the lung, which is I can't be me, overtime hopelessness, and at 4 years old. So that means you have a story that keeps repeating over and over and over. And I'm going to ask Spirit to break that unit. Where would you have her focus? And they said the circulation sex, which is the pericardium meridian. And they said that you've gone into the phase of checking out, which is non-thinking, non-feeling. So that symptom is non-thinking, non-feeling. And you go there because you weren't allowed at 4, it has now just been habitual that I can't do it now. And even though you have every right to do it now, you just can't get over that hurdle. Because we worked before, your healing tool will be right wrist, third position, right here, nice and deep. Okay, so you're going to hold that nice and deep and do this. Get it on the scale from 0 to 10, then get it down to 0. Okay. Wait, what? So as you're doing your particular change of life of whatever you're doing, there's some people that still push their energy in your way that says that you have kind of got to live this way just a little bit. And there's something that's repeating. This is connected to that 4-year-old self. And I'll say, is that a different unit? Yes, it is. Spleen and lung. Spleen says, I failed at being me. Oh, that makes sense. I failed at being me. So now at 4 years old, that one and this one, how would you break that? Spirit says, oh, same position, R3D. So when you're thinking of that first part, add that second unit that you failed. So now, I hear somebody here. Time will tell if you can see me. Are you talking about me? Oh, you're talking about her. So she's developing the ability to hear, sense loved ones? No. Apparently you need to be working with angels. That's why I think we talked about sigils in the beginning, because is that Michael? Well, why are you standing over there? Archangel Michael. Okay, so he says he's standing in that position because there was a part of you at 4 that felt like you couldn't be saved. And I don't know if you had worked with angels or if it was part of the belief system growing up, but somehow there's a connection with that. So so Archangel Michael, tell me, she can't be herself. She becomes very muddled. So everything that's stable becomes instable. Overtime hopelessness, and failure. And it comes together with, if you're going to be me, I'm going to be rejected. And what is your part into it? Oh, energetically, you're helping her to be herself. And you basically said, so here's the thing. So my nose has changed. So you're saying you don't recognize yourself. She doesn't recognize your energy. Oh, that's what that's about. Okay, so you can't recognize his energy. So then there's so who does she think you are? The enemy. Per se, is that you can't feel that vibration that makes it joyful. He says, you're not reaching that full potential with me. Okay, does this make any sense? Because you know what work you have to do. You may not think you do, but you do. And the more you get working in the light language, the vibration is going to speak to you, and you're going to hit a knowing inside yourself that's going to make it so crystal clear for you that you will go, oh, that's what I've been waiting for. now I can be me, because it's I guess you're waiting for divine alignment. Pretty much, yeah. Okay. What else? Do you have anything? Let's see. Oh, was he here with me at last? Okay, so do you see what she says? Yes. About 4 hours ago, you noticed something. It's like you looked over your shoulder, but you didn't. Oh, I'll explain it. Okay. Okay. So if I did a levitation in front of you, and you may not acknowledge that I did it, I do it again, and you may not know I do it, because your brain can't register what just happened. So a shaman, like the story of the shaman is that the waves were moving, but what's making those wave moves? They look out, they see nothing. What makes it? And then the shaman kept looking and waiting and waiting. And then all of a sudden the shaman was able to see with the eyes that it was ships. So then he explained it, and other people go, oh yeah, I can see what you see. Okay. So if I was levitating in front of you and you couldn't see it, you are not registering it just yet. But if you allow that vibration of communication, like you said, oh, was he here? So you allow yourself to start saying, yes, my brain can register this. And you allow more, especially working with the sigils and the light language, then you're going to be able to go, oh, he's here. Hi, how you doing? And you'll be able to develop more of a conversation. Okay. Okay, so she says yes. Now, what's weird is my head. Okay, I felt this pressure, but at the same time, I feel like my head's going to explode. And it's like, what? And it's like, no, that can't be it. What is it all about? But I want to automatically say, oh my God, I got a headache. But I'm not. And what they're trying to say is that your auto response, you may not be aware that you're doing it, but you're doing it, if that makes any sense. And you have to begin to train yourself to be aware that you're like, oh, I get it. I don't know who that was, but I get it. So it like, that didn't happen. Or, so you got to become aware of, you're not like, oh God. And that, but that's, somebody's talking to you, but you just fluffed it off as, oh, that must be gas. Oh yeah. That must be that. No, when spirit speaks to me sometimes and things like that happen, I'll say, stop, wait. Okay. Is this a message? Aha. Yes. Okay. So then and I said, and then once I start to get involved in it, I'll bring it up. And I'll say, if this is it, so be it. And then I wave my magic wand, and then everything that was just kind of happening, the symptoms, whether it's in life or physical, it just stops. And then I can continue forward, if that makes any sense. So allowing yourself to, okay, she says, I recognize something, but it scared me instead. Okay, and I shut it down. Good job, you know. When that happens, just stop and say, okay, on a scale from 0 to 10, God, that scared me. And you give it a number. And if you don't want to EFT it out, then just put your hand on your forehead and go, oh my God. And we'll just take it one step further, because yeah, your body literally goes into the symptom of cloudy thinking. And so then you can hold right wrist first position, thumb nice and deep. Okay, R1D for that. Yeah, well, the thing is if you were listening to the beginning of the show, it has a lot to do with that when your nervous system kicks in, and then it lowers the vibration, and your frequency that where you were at, that gets compromised, and then the energy outside you change. So your nervous system says you're scared. And the message, the positive messages and stuff can't get through past the brainstem. So you will start living just in that fear and vibration, and you'll begin to have symptoms like cloudy thinking. You can disrupt that. You can take care of that. And once you take care of the emotion that's vibrating, that chemical peptide, and you take care of that scared emotion and all this, then you can start moving into accepting, because then your brain's going to go, oh, that's what that means. Oh, that's what that means. And you start building that filing cabinet. Thank you for honoring me. Mr. James, the PayPal link's up above. And I sent you the link as well so that you can do that. I will again look. Okay, so once Jane, so the link should work anyway. And if you don't have an account, and you may have to wait for money from, I don't know, because there's always this interesting thing that happens. So I'm going to just double check. What is that? And it came onto that computer first. And there it is. So beat it. So whoever is so beat it, that's cute. Let me know who that is. And it was also for 11 minutes too, I think. Yeah. So beat it. Oh, Kathy, good job. So you're just beat it, right? Just want to make sure I get the right person. And if you are, then you tell me what it is that you would like me to address, or that you want me to just do a cold read. Let Spirit tell me. That's up to you. You can decide. Okay. Yes. Okay. So I'll begin. If there's anything particular you want me to focus on, I will do so. Oh, shame. I feel like the word berating, but in a comical way. Oh, I can't remember that word. There's an actual word that people will know. Okay, so when people are it's that banter. That's it. I knew that would come out. But it's like the banter, but it actually is not healthy, because you're beginning. Okay, you really gonna blow our mind? All right. The old paradigm has a lot to do with, one of them is you're the butt of the joke. A female's the butt of the joke. The blonde hair is the butt of the joke. And they're actually insulting. They're actually degrading. Yeah, they can be funny, but guess what? It's not happening to the person that's telling the joke. I watched some of these comedy shows, and they can be funny, but then I sat there and I realized I don't really want to support this behavior of relationships are supposed to suck. I really don't want to support this frequency that says that, hey, you got to hurt your mate and then joke about it and shame them and then come back and then have love. And I'm thinking, I don't want my relationship to suck 24/7, and maybe one day, it's 1 hour out of that 24/7 is good. I'm not supporting that. So, okay. With my dad. See, I think a part of her already knows. And so there's a party, it's like you have these stories that are there. Now, the youngest that you had an issue with is when you were 7 years old. Oh, so was one of the jokes about buds, boobs? Oh, she's budding. Do you know what I mean? It's like no joke was off limits, and that's what I keep hearing. And if you said anything, then you wounded their pride. And it's interesting because they think you go pouting, but they're the ones that actually goes pouting. But I hear a twist. It's like, do as I say, not as I do. So then this person is the only one that can do it because nobody else can. for sure. Oh, what is that about? Who's that? That's not him. That's for sure, man. Another energy of somebody just walked in and tall and skinny. Now, normally the shapes that they give me is not the actual person, but in this case, it's very slanky or lanky, tall. I don't know that word. But there is a stability of a muddledness. And that stability of muddledness it's how do I put it? Everything's stable. You're walking on a nice floor, and then an earthquake happens. It's like when you're trying to walk, you're like, ooh. But in your head, it's nice and clear. You have a thought, you can do this, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, it starts to get muddled. Does that make any sense to you? Because if you can grasp that, then you can begin to understand that it's about, it happens before or after. Oh, so you are actually fully aware that it's going to happen. You can actually walk into the room and feel like you know it's going to happen. And when that happens, you're like, but is that your coping? No, it's your safeguard. So there's a party that thinks that if I go here, it keeps me safe. There's something about you don't want to hear it afterwards. Okay, so if you don't want to hear it afterwards, then that means, yes, it's fully in play. If it's fully in play, then you won't have that. But then that sounds like a coping tool. Well, it is. It's more of a safety tool first. But it's one of her go-tos. Yes. Okay. It's one of her go-tos. Okay. It's a little different. Usually those words are all individually different, but somehow it's I'm trying to hear what they're trying to say. They're saying, look. No. Oh, why did the thing move? That's why I can't. I'm like, where is it? Okay. Now remember, that's what you want. Okay. You may not even be aware that's happening. Okay. But does she do that? Really? Do you have self-aware? Are you self-conscious of things? Like, for instance, you're self-aware that people are looking at you. You're aware that maybe you're like this. I'm self-aware that this is annoying me, and self-aware that my hair looks awful. So I gotta give it attention, and I gotta. Do you know what I'm talking about? Okay, so you are maybe doing a habit you don't even know you're doing. And what does that mean? That you can be doing this every day, and and it's because it's so in the body and not up here, you won't know you're doing it. And you developed it over time. Okay. All right. She has it locked in her body. Okay, so he says you have it locked in your body. All right, well, tell me where. Is it all over? No. Okay. It is, I can't see now. Oh, it's in the immune system, your spleen, your lymphs. So do you have allergies? Because if you have allergies, then but I do that with other people. Good. So it's not 24/7, but it is enough that it can throw you off. Because if you're aware of that, understand that no matter what it is, when you do it, the program's always there, and it's always robbing you of your energy and to keep that issue alive. And when you go to create, you actually stop yourself. So what they're saying that it's in the body. I got it. Talk to me more. And it goes back to distrust. Not only were you waking up to some people doing it, but you also know that distrust, excess. What do you mean? Somebody talks excessively, and so you don't distrust. You distrust them. Is that true? Did I get that right? Make what? Is it about yourself? So, you have to match. They're saying that when you're around these people, you can't be yourself. So then you have to match it. And so you basically have to, if they're giving you shit, you have to give them shit. And there's a part of you that has known about this for years. And you dish it out what comes to you, and what comes to you, you dish it out. But you are like, I don't like this anymore. And you're beginning to wake up and being self-conscious that this is happening. And I'm not sure if I want this relationship this way. Your body's already told you, whatever it is, whatever your immune system is. It could feel like it's a panicked immune system. Doesn't always have to attack itself. It doesn't always have to create a response like an allergy to food. Now, what's with the person? It seemed to be more affected when a person walks in the room. Your body's like going, oh, I'm going to create some gas, or it's going to create this other stuff, because it doesn't want to stay in the presence of certain people. See, it's right there. It's in the stomach. It's in that. Do you get heartburn? Is that what it's called? Not regurgitate. What's it called? Reflux. Oh, yeah. Duh. So do you get reflux? You're not digesting right? What, notice that. Okay. Where are you going? Self what? It's like, behaviors. Your soul is saying there's certain behaviors that you're ready to get rid of, like being haughty, being you have to understand it goes to extreme. Some people just take it to extreme. Some people just do it mildly. Some pick up bad habits and only do it when it's necessary. But they're saying that you're done with certain behaviors because there's a part of you that just wants to be, I want more humor. I want more peace. I want more joy. I want more. And you're not realizing that you can't really get in that alignment of what you want, because over here it says that you have to keep doing this pattern. Does that make sense to you? Remember, it doesn't have to be, even though it's the immune system, you may all of a sudden feel like fibromyalgia, or you may feel, your immune system can show up really interestingly. It can become very sluggish. It doesn't have to have inflammation. It just means that you may put on weight. It's trying to protect you. If that makes sense. James, buddy, I think you did it. Why, yes, you do, Mr. Devereaux. Good job. You did it. Okay. You said can't get away from her. This nasty relationship ends the same way. Past 4 breakups. Need to stop. The feeling of needing her. So, okay. Having the feeling of needing her. Soul contract. Yes. She's a past life relationship. So how I would, turn it on. Good point. How I would address this one is that we're going to look for marker points of why she would appear. We're going to look at the past life to why this, what didn't get resolved. Oh, okay. So in the past life, it has to do with the energy of control. So it was, did you guys switch roles? No? Okay. You were, okay. A broadcast message. If somebody's putting out the energy, like if you go to the bar and you see these girls that are just fuck off, dude. Okay. And they don't even have to do that. They just put that energy vibe out. That's what's called a broadcast message. You will feel that before you feel, before they open their mouth. What about it? Consciousness. Okay, so what is, okay, so the second chakra. Did you guys make a vow? No, good. but it's about the second chakra. Yours? Well, that's interesting. The word condemned? I gotta find out what this is. What do you mean condemned? So we're talking about the front chakra in the feeling center, the quality of love, giving and receiving, mental and spiritual pleasure. Okay, so that is off. Left side, right side. So she tries to be more assertive and more, wow. I feel like she's trying to mother and smother. Yeah, everything was good in the beginning, and now it's like, do as I say. If that's true, let me know, because I need to make sure I'm following that right path. So as I'm looking at the second chakra in the front, it's about the feeling. So the feeling is off when it comes to receiving, because as you began to receive, you have to receive what she decides to dish out to you. And it's not always good stuff. So it's like she is in charge of that particular good. Yes. Okay. So we're talking about the second chakra. Anything else we need to know about this? Where? Front, back. All right. So in your fifth chakra in the back, that's your sense of self, and that's the willpower. And for some reason, your willpower, you cannot have your sense of self. So if that's the case, where is that willpower? When you were 4 years old. So that willpower goes out to something that happened at 4. What's the unit? The unit is anxiety, depressed, and insecure. Are these your units? Okay, so you developed those, and it had to do with about going to school. You measured yourself up and felt that you weren't good enough to go to school. And you believed what your left brain told you. And left brain is about, they say rational. It's more irrational because it's about fear. It's about the ego. It's about, I have to rationally think this through. And so there was a part of you as a young child that went in and constructed that I have to be a certain way and I'm not going to make it. So you stopped shining. I feel like you were afraid to shine. Was there somebody else? Somebody else in the family was shining. So you came second best. Is that true, James? Because if that's the case, this goes back to the past life of where you always felt attacked and you had to stay hidden in that relationship. No, just in that particular past life. And you had to stay hidden. Were you male or female? You were in a convent, so you were female. You had forbidden love. Oh, that's why she's male. That's the energy from that life. But your convent days of being a nun in that life makes it so that you always have to be second best and let everybody else shine. All right, and I need to ask, do you have a contract, a vow that needs to be broken? You have not let go of the fact that you've been trained that I have to be second best. I have to do this because people are supposed to shine. All I can see is a little boy looking. Oh, wow. God, this is going to be awkward. When you looked at your sister, did you feel there was no way to live up to that, or that she was being fake? Or I know you love your sister. I'm not trying to get you to not love your sister. I'm just saying, when you were little, did you feel like she was always in charge over you to some degree? Because there's a part of you that's replicating the dynamics in the home. Again, goes back to that past life. So how would you want to heal this? there's a part of you that rejected your reality, that I don't want to live this way. What is that? You don't want to live this way. Wait, what? Where are you going? You didn't want to be? It was happening. When was the split in the family? Because there was something that was going on in the split, and it was very hard to get the attention, and somebody wanted it a little bit more than you. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay. I think you know what I'm trying to say. What I want you to do is you're going to hold R3S, and you're going to please put it on the scale from 0 to 10. Heal it all the way down to 0 the best you can. When you think it's at zero, then I want you to do EFT. So the first thing you do is you're going to hold R3. You wanted him to go where? That's what I thought. R3. So remember, third one down. 1, 2, 3, down here. Hold soft. Okay. You're going to focus on how everybody acts. So if you're thinking of your ex and you feel insecure, it's an actual feeling. It's insecure, but one of the things that insecure does is it causes you to worry. So the symptom of worrying, you know, that point. Here we go again. I have to be second bet. You know, whatever that is that I've told you, I want you to start beginning to follow that, because your body creates these symptoms. Notice also, do you want him to hold in the same spot? Yes, R3S. You're irrelevant. Look that word up. Look these words up. Get the other meanings besides what you think it is. Hold that position and think those down to 0. Think irrelevant down to 0. Think those emotions down to 0, because these are really holding you tight. Okay, so 15. Something happened at 7, though. Or 7. How about 4? Something happened at 7, too? Oh, that's good to know. Who was acting mean? Things were very loud in the house. Okay. You decided that it was much, here we go. You decided it was much better to be the it in the relationships. Okay. And it is that you're just an it. You're just an object. It's easy just to make you the object. You had affection, that's an IU, but then all of a sudden everything switched and you become an it. And the reason you became an it is because the right brain story of, I don't like when people are hysterical. So you would watch these women or men or family members get hysterical and you didn't like it. So you would sit back and pull yourself in and you become an it. So you were not the object of that negativity. Does that make sense? And you will hold R3S. So everything right now is at R3S. Definitely at that same point. Oh my God. Okay. So yeah. Well, I wouldn't want to be a part of I wouldn't want that to come to me. So I'd want to become an it. But then you also became an it because of that, of the rejection. In this case, you didn't see it as rejection as much as you saw it as what? What about me? Wow. So you didn't even feel the rejection. You just went right to what about me? And so you've been playing that out. That's why you're showing it up in the girlfriend or the ex. All right. What about me? Where do we hold that? That is R1S. Oh, we got a different point, but it's the top one this time. Holding it soft. R1S. Good thing you can rewatch these over and over. Just remember your timestamp. They're saying they want you to heal your reaction when they put up their little snarkiness, because your reaction is you let them take you for granted and you don't realize you're doing it. It's a symptom. So L2D. Oh, we're going over to L. So we go 1, 2, L2, D. Pushing deep. Okay. Good job, James. I know you can do it, buddy. Now, when you got done holding those points, let's say you're done holding R3S, do a couple rounds of EFT. And if you don't know what that is, sweetheart, just let me know. I will send you the link. We want you better. I love you. Okay, let me double check. Nobody else has a read, and we will go into, let me just double check anybody talking here. All right. What we're going to do is now the 1 minute reads, and we call it speed reading, and Eve's got it right. That's what you do, is you hit hashtag MWB, the number 4, ME, space, and then what you want to talk about. And I go right in. If you just want spirit to choose, then you just can put that hashtag, and then we go from there. Oh, you're welcome, James. We want you better, hon. We really do. Okay. I bet you need to send me a picture of your son, because I haven't seen him in like forever. Okay, here we go. Nicole Byers. Byers? B-Y-E-R-S? Oh, it's not computing. Darn it. Nicole. Awkwardness. So when it comes to relationships, it's awkwardness. So you may not even be aware. Is it create a symptom? The symptom is what? You feel the invading energy, so then you mistake it for it's bad, and therefore you stop the relationship or the communication, whatever it is. So this is a false thing that happened, because this is a filter. Your 3-year-old, your 3-year-old is the one that knows the awkwardness, so you become 3 years old. Oh, well. And when that occurs, we're going to give you a card. And you pull back. So you literally need to begin to heal that. They're saying that when that happens, you can't love yourself first, which means to bring in the love. So you have to create a rejection, and so to protect yourself. I gotta really need to do this right. LaRonda, job. Now, I don't know if you're looking for a job or whatever it is, but the job is, there's a part of you that's going into believing you're doubting yourself. You have the sorrow. It's not allowing you into your space. You are actually allowing yourself to feel, you believe in the old story. So you put in the GPS, this is the job I want, or even, I don't even know what job I want, but thank you for the job. You put it out there, and you're basically, your brain's going, oh, look, it's this time right here. And guess what? I don't have the job, so there must be something wrong with me. And my watch just died. It was fully charged. That's interesting. So you run out of juice. You run out of that particular time, and you run out of that ability to trust yourself. So you already got it. They're saying that the self-talk is, I'm going to be disapproved of. I'm going to run this scenario in my head, and I have this belief, and okay, you need to just, when you know that's firing, tap, 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 tap. Oh, God, yeah, I freaking believe that I'm not going to get it. So there's a part of you that thinks I need to talk about it in a negative sense so I don't jinx myself. But the universe is telling you something else. Amy Schmalls. Well, my head's foggy. Did you check your blood insulin? Are you taking your pills properly? I feel like something's off, because they said that you have a self-imposed limitations, and you are going into, I didn't get my results, therefore I failed. I didn't get what I wanted, therefore I failed. And this has to do with relationships with people. And you're like, oh, huh. And you understand that insulin has everything to do with joy. You're hardwired for joy, but if you can't see that, then any type of thing that you try to get so that you can have joy can throw your sugars off. And in this case, Yeah, you thought you found joy, but you're going back into the second chakra that I don't know how to relate. You're in the middle of developing, honey. Okay. Pilly Polar. Where'd my cards go? Oh. Pilly, my dear. Relationships. Ooh. Somehow there's somebody says you always give them the cold shoulder. Somebody says that, I don't really care what somebody says, but they say that you have a chip on your shoulder or something like that. So I'm going to, you stop yourself from expressing love, okay? And they said literally this part of you, that's a symptom that you can't express love. And they said that you're under pressure to be a certain way, and therefore you're like, I'm just going to take my heart out of it. I'm going to not express love because I can't deal with this that they want, and I'm just not going to do it. So you need to heal the symptom. And there's a party that says, but I don't want to, because it's deception. They always deceive me. It's like they dangle the carrot and say, oh, look. And then as soon as I go to start to help, they pull it away and you're like, so done. Demi. There's a feeling of an old pattern. The old pattern is that you can't quite hear the difference between relief of letting go of those emotions, and because those emotions are just beginning to affect you, because they said that there's a party that's constantly feeling attacked. I mean, you feel attacked, and they said that this is something that you picked up when you were 4, that this is how relationships are, this is the way it's supposed to be, and this is part of the bloodline culture. Women, almost had it. That because you're a woman, the encoding of how a woman's supposed to be treated. Now it says culture. Well, that's where I was going. But it's just repetitive old story. Now you got to get in there and stop believing. You got to take the emotion off so that you can flip that part of yourself to stop that pattern. Darlene, my dad, I'm assuming he's passed. Okay, whoever's here. Hope, expected, their power. So you're saying that she lives in she expects them to throw out their particular power, the way they are, and he says, I don't like it. I don't like those relationships. I don't like those relationships. Now, remember, they don't have to be a debtor or a lie. The point is the soul of the father is actually speaking. I've had people that are alive that constantly come to me. The chakra, 5th chakra. You don't have the willpower to stop it, because there's a part of you that don't want to be disapproved of. So then you go into a pattern that this is what you expect, this is what's happening, and I forgot to turn the timer on, so yay for you. The habit is what's holding you back. To stop blaming them, they're shits, but your habit is doing this. And the habit, then it's going to keep repeating itself because the energy is repeating. All right. There's a belief that these people invade your space. At 2 years old, somebody really did invade your space, and it scared you terribly. Oh, I want to inner crying. I'm like about ready. I'm sobbing. I can feel it. But I have to live their way because I have no choice. I'm 2. And there's a party that doesn't want to live that way. And okay, so let me ask, is this about... No, this is just, you can feel it. It's just the energy of control. And you're like, I don't like it. I don't want it. Housing. reason they say it's not in your cards just yet is because you haven't really decided to move. You haven't really decided to take that step. You consciously have, but your heart says, my heart's not into it. And because of this, they said that you actually contempt, oh God, I got to do this. I don't want to do this. And if that's where your heart is, it's going to block anything that's going to come your way to cause you to feel safe in moving in the direction you want. And it's just an auto response. This is something you've done since one. You're like, oh God. So you can see this. So if you were to address what emotions, obsessing, they said that you like to obsess in your head. Even though I'm obsessing about this, and your heart says, well, as long as she's obsessing about it, I don't have to think about the shit. But it happens. Susan Bowles. Vivid what? Imagination? Your vivid imagination seems to be getting really good at thinking in an actual unhealthy manner. It's like, instead of using that construction, because your heart and your mind start to go, oh yeah, I see it. Okay. But it's in the low vibration because it's based on fear, worry, rejection. And so you don't want, stop telling the universe to give you that. You need to take your mind off that pain. Start doing some EFT when you start thinking, because you can be thinking positive, but then your mind says, nah, we're going to back it up with all of this. See, this is what happened before. And you're without realizing it, you're creating things so that it doesn't happen again, but you're taking it from old experiences, but you're creating it with a different energy, and it's not pretty. Okay. Teresa Perkins. Tapping, magnetic help, muscles, pain, cramping. Okay. Well, that's probably why my knee's hurting. It's a very specific point. Okay. The point of the gallbladder seems to, in which other one? And the spleen. They keep repeating themselves. Do you want her to rub her source points? Yes. Oh, but they're completely out of sync. Left to right? So do you need to do it? Okay, no. All right. That is going to help that. On the back, it's hard to explain. All right. Both legs? Okay. Look up bladder 58. And it's on the back of your calf. It's right there. Okay. It's on if you feel the bone going down, it's on the outside of your baby toe. Wait, is that right? Yeah. Because when the bladder meridian goes up, there's a point there that seems to be, do you need to use a magnet? No, you just need to start rubbing, because the energy of the bladder needs to spin around to go to the rest of the meridians. Then make sure if you can rub your gallbladder source and your, what did I say? The other one, spleen. So in this case, if I didn't tell you before, but you don't want her to have that one. No. That's fine. The gallbladder there's the bone, and it's right there. So when your fingers slide down, you find an indent right there. Do both sides. Your spleen, that's gallbladder. The spleen is right there. You got the bump, and right after the bump, spleen 3. But if you rub that area, you can get spleen 3 and 4 because they're really close. Good 30 times. Got to get that energy moving. Do it several times a day, your body, because what it does, it's accumulation healing. Um, Devika J. Okay. Oh, gotta get the right papers. And Devika J. All right, so in the workspace, you have a story that you keep telling yourself and something about they don't like me. But you have the feeling that you get is you do everything you can to stay indifferenced. Because you're trying to stay indifferent, you're not listening to what your body's saying. And your body says is that you have pictures. Now, if you can focus on the pictures of your workplace of how you don't like it and you use EFT to tap it out, you'd be amazed and do several rounds of it. You can tap out those pictures. And put it on a scale from 0 to 10. 10, the picture is really strong. Tap, 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 tap. And then all of a sudden, this picture, you'll begin to know, I don't really care about those pictures. Don't falsely go, oh, they're gone. Because those pictures create an anxiety within yourself. And then it makes this energy in the front go down and when it needs to stay up. But it goes down and it creates you very vulnerable. And then it makes you worry because then it kicks in the stomach meridian and you start to worry. This is a particular pattern that was created when you were 5. So tap it out so that doesn't control your workspace. Okay. Sorry, I had to shut the heater off. Okay. All right. Well, there's something going on, Amy. If the sugars are not off, then chances are it is a symptom of you're not getting something there. And it just reminds me and similar to how the head space is. So they're just saying that it can be that. No, I did not. Ava Ann McGee. Ava Ann McGee. Now, remember, if any of this is frozen, it's clear as a bell on YouTube. So you can go there afterwards and you know, subscribe, sign up, whatever. But you can watch the video and you don't, and rewatch your thing. So Eve Ann McGee. You have been concerned. Okay. Other people are concerned that you're not concerned about your right and wrong. You got to do the right thing, Eve. Somebody's in your freaking head that's telling you that you have to do the right thing. And it gets confusing because if you look close, everybody has the right way and the wrong way. And everybody seems to be changing their thoughts about what they thought was right. They don't even know. So it's confusing you about what is the right and wrong thing. So you're going to have to pull out and listen to yourself, because the thing that stops you from really hearing it is that you become very indifferent. You're like, I don't want to participate. So it's kind of like making a decision. I don't want to do this, but you're like, ah. So if you were just to pause and to breathe and to allow yourself to, I don't want to, again, I believe in healing tools. That's what you're going to get from me. And you begin to tap that out. It'll make a big difference in the way that you allow yourself to participate in choosing what is right and wrong for you, because you need how to define it for yourself, and everybody else's opinion is not going to be helpful. Okay. So those that have just came in, if you want a 1-minute read, it is hashtag MWB, the number 4, ME space, and then tell me what you want me to do the 1-minute read on. Jennifer Osika, are you still here? Because we could do a read for you too. I'm just double checking, and I'm just going to make sure that nobody's paid for a reading. Oh, no, we're good there. If anybody wants a healing afterwards, I'm only offering it if you pay for it now, and you pay $22, you get 15 minutes, but it's after the show. It won't be tonight, because tonight is my late night. So it'll be tomorrow. Jennifer, did you want a reading? Okay. Who's confusing you? Somebody is it's like feeding you information, and you keep repeating the same story, So you're taking advice. Well, I can hear the husband. So what I'm hearing is that he knows what's best for me. And then you're laughing because you're like, that's bullshit. Well, that's not what your body says. Your body's consciousness said that it's similar to what information you received when you were 6. The information that is it a unit? Information you received at 6 was that you believed you were irrelevant and you're supposed to keep pushing yourself to be, here I am. And there's a part of you that's actually getting tired of that same old, that it has created a unit of incompatibility, and it's getting stronger to be more repulsive. So when you're around your family members, you may see more symptoms, or you will be putting on more weight. I'm just saying, your body's going, I got to protect myself from these people. Your mind says you're fine, but your body says, oh, hell no. Okay, anybody else want to read? Now remember, you can refresh yourself and get back in. For me, it looks like it's working fine, because a 1-minute read is free. I see a few new faces and stuff like this. Remember, you may have to say, see first and be notified, like the page. You can get a free card by sharing it into groups, and to rewatch again. If you were watching it again, it shows that you shared it, and then I can give a card. If you were to like or love up there, love this video, then you can get a card as well. But I'll get to those when I get up tomorrow. Oh, okay. So the private reading, the $22 for 15, if you pay now, then you can get it later. Yes, I can do it tomorrow. What's needed for the reading is just very simple. If you put the hashtag, let me see if I can just grab it. Oh, somebody type it for me. I'm doing it. I can't even see. I just went blind. Why in the hell does that happen to me? So it's hashtag the M, the W is in Medicine Woman B. So and Medicine Woman Brenda, the number 4 ME space. And what do you want me to look at? Or I can just let Spirit tell you. That's what we do. And Gigi, I'm getting closer to the lodge. There'll be a medicine lodge for all the healing tools. Then there'll be a spiritual lodge for all of the teachings, and subscriptions for different levels of education. Oh, that's it. Perkins just, thank you, dear. I'll pin that. Oh, LaRonda, too. You guys are wonderful. Okay, so the reason you do that is so I can see it. David. Sometimes David goes, well, I'll participate. Doesn't mean I want to read. So you're funny. Oh, Gigi, I'm just going to give you a read. Like I said, yes, it's still open if you wanted to, pay for reading. That's up to you. Do you want the $22 for 15 after you pay now? That's how that works. Okay, so David, Spirit says that you've been listening to yourself. You kind of surprised yourself of saying, I don't need to fall for this weird feeling I have. And you're looking at what's right and wrong. And there's a part of you that's almost got to enough stage where you're saying, I'm done. See, I know you don't want anything, but I'm still going to give it to you, David, because Spirit said so. And that's the thing. We got to get you to open to receive, David, because You're very good at giving, and your karma is like this. Okay, you don't need that shit coming back to you. So Spirit wants to help balance that out just a little bit for you. Okay, because you're a good man. You just don't need to have any more karma buildup. Okay, you just don't need the karma buildup, because literally it can cause you to become more and more unhappy and more same shit, different day. And you don't need that. Okay. Oops. Where did my screen go? There it is. One of these days I'm gonna hit the wrong button. And the whole thing moved. You're welcome, David. Oh, Nicole. I normally only do one, but you know what? I'll do that for you. Your son. Focus on him. It's going around and around. Where's it going? He doesn't know what about, his energy's like everywhere, but then he gets oversympathetic and then he overcompensates. There's something about being oversympathetic and sympathizing to the point where he actually pulls himself that it's his fault, or it's like, I don't want to, and there's, and it's a strategy. And why does he do that strategy? Because he knows what disapproval is, and he just doesn't want it anymore. So he trying to turn it around. So in this case, it is, if I can see what makes him happy. If I do what makes him happy, then I don't have to have disapproval. Therefore, he changed himself in order to avoid a few things. Hey, Rosie. I'm from Australia too. All right, Gigi, you're getting one. Well, it's interesting. They showed me a happy face, and then all of a sudden you're like, and then you sneezed in my face. Why did you show me that picture? Because somebody's getting to you. Someone. How many? One someone is getting to you. So your body is like, I need to push them away. I don't want it. Your left brain is trying to convince yourself, but it's the right thing to do. But your body is saying, I disagree. I just disagree with it all. So the compatibility. So where does it go? Oh, so it's just a +5. It's not too bad, but your body is becoming more into the ability of saying, this is what I'm just going to keep building this up because I can't. Is it tolerant? Yeah, I'm not tolerating that. Okay. All right. So, yes. Gigi knows to put in there. This is who I am. So I'm assuming that Nicole, is he struggling with illness? Oh, that's what she's asking? Kind of. Rosie, yeah, okay. So like I said, the people are new. Normally it's hashtag MWB 4ME and then space and what you want. But would you consider picking a card? Okay. If it resonates, I would like to. No, well, I don't need to pick a card unless you want a card, but because I'm giving away 1 minute free reads. So with Rosie, I just got a slap in the face. I don't understand that. What is that? There's that phrase, it's slap in the face. But then they said there's an over-concerning energy that seems to be building up on the right side. So that means you are physically having to be assertive about being over-concerned about something. But you have a deficiency in the left side, and what's happening there is that people get to you, so then you get over concerned. People get to you, and then you lose power. And so that quiet time that's meant to be for you, you get less of. So it's very hard for you to do the downtime without somebody invading your space. But this is a story that keeps playing out in the physical. And that came about when you were in 3. You were watching this, and this is how adults are supposed to be. And you're like, oh, this is how I'm supposed to be. So it's kind of an old program that's playing itself out in the now. I was doing that. I know that it's 11 p.m. I know my husband's home, but I could probably do that. I think Tina's talking to somebody. So I'm going to go to Cameron Page. Got it. Cameron, where are we going? They said something to do with your eating. They said the type of eater you are is you're an emotional eater. Okay. What emotion seems to affect you the most is a little bit of panic. You can tell when you're being irrelevant in a conversation or in a situation, and then you'll pick something. Your bright brain says, oh, lofty energy, people that are just so much better, and they send that energy out and invalidated. So it's a little different than the other one. So invalidated. It's like whatever you say, they just invalidate it by giving their own opinion. And whereas irrelevant just kind of doesn't care about your opinion. So you eat. So then the compulsion is to eat. And what happens when you eat is it doesn't digest right, and the nutrition value doesn't go where it needs to. Hey, from Michigan, my hometown. Okay. Erica Boone. Grandma, are you here? Okay, she's joking about something, but I can't quite tell what it is. I just know it's supposed to be a joke. Did you dress up as her or something? Because it's a very young face with a grandma wig. And there's a joke going on because I hear laughter. She used to get to you as far as deeply into your heart. And you have an active memory of when 3.5 years of age, you felt her energy being very haughty, being presented out there in a very haughty manner. And what happened? So the engram, the strategy, I'm curious what the hell they're talking about. The strategy of what? She would watch you do things so that you get a particular outcome because she does them. She wanted a particular outcome, so she acted a certain way to get it. And she says, and she sees you do that too. Anxiety is huge. Again, it depends on if it's you, I would tell you what to do. If it is somebody that is not in this world, that, and what I mean by this is that they don't believe in healing tools and stuff like this, that's what I mean, this world, then they're going to just fluff it off and think it's stupid. I'm going to tell you, if a person is that way, they need to use mindful techniques. This is something that is accepted by people that are more in an ego and more in the emotion, is that if you can say, okay, if you don't want to do healing tools like EFT and all that, I wish I could remember the name of that guy, and he's very ego, but he uses mindful tools, and he teaches people how to take control of that anxiety and to calm it down. And it really works, because I know a couple people that have used that, but they're still quite in ego. But the anxiety is so invading. It just keeps, it's very crippling. That's what I keep seeing. Okay, anybody else want to read? Let me know. And then I'm about ready to leave myself. And, you know, there are days I can have a call-in show, and I might do that next week. So I'm only here one more week, and then I'm going to not be touching the internet because it's my vacation. I'm just not going to touch the internet. At least, let's see how well I do, until the 20th. Well, if you want to call Amy, go ahead. People can have an idea of what it looks like. I gotta see. I hope it's on. I just realized it might not be on. I may not have turned it on. No, see, I didn't even turn it on. The battery was going dead on it. That's why I had it off. So, you know, I'm not leaving yet, David. I'm going to do another read for 5 minutes. Where'd it go? Oh, yeah, it's going to interfere because it's trying to download all the information. I'm trying to answer, Amy. Stupid thing. All right, hang up. Try it again. This is so silly when it does that. I'm sorry, LaRonda. I really am. It's not answering. So if I beat it, would it work? Shake it. Amy, hang up and try it again. I don't know what's happening. I only see one screen. Just, okay, no, get rid of it. Where's that calling? Oh, I hope this doesn't hang up. Yeah, you're not going to get a video if this way. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Understand that I've never done it this way. How interesting. The camera is for the show.
On the iPad?
Oh, iPad's not involved, just my big computer. So that's new.
Interesting.
Very much so. I didn't think I could do that. So you get a 5-minute read. Tell me what it is that you, what's the subject? Don't tell me spirit says, you know, pick it. No, tell me what your issue is.
Mama.
What about Mama?
She got pissed off at me the other day and hasn't talked to me since.
All right,
and
so
I'm not sure why.
Okay. So, you know, she wants to know why, but what spirit is understand is it's we're not what we're going. Oh. Interesting. So there's a great disapproval from her end. For some reason, you haven't shown up the way that you're supposed to. And so you're deficient to her. It's like, oh, now it won't shut up. So then, so it's a great disapproval. She is, Mama is. Mama's discouraged. And she feels helpless. But in her mind, her left brain, I'm going to teach you a lesson. Would that sound like something that she would do?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, it definitely is her arrested development. Okay, so even if we don't understand why, let's understand why you're so projected to see that. So the brain says that it needed to see that disapproval because that's what you had when you were 4, because you didn't show up the way you were supposed to, and therefore you got this disapproval. Now, how you, oh, this is good. So now the universe says, oh, so you're not getting that attention. So you wanted a particular outcome, which was whatever it is you wanted your mother to do, mother and father. Boom. then what you did is that you gave them a reproach, which means if they approach you, you're going to get prickly. Leave me alone. Type thing. Does that sound like something you would have done as a kid?
Yeah.
So you're mirroring each other. She's doing it now. You did it when you were younger, but you're mirroring the exact same thing. So now your soul is asking you to look at your reaction, and you see it through somebody else's eyes. Do you want to do that?
Sure.
Oh, no, I mean, do you want to act like them?
No.
Okay, so know that you have, and you still do. You just don't know you do it, but universe is showing you, here, this is what you actually do. Is it pretty? Is it pretty? Is it pretty what they do?
No.
No. And so what are your takeaways in this is understand that there's a, are you panicking now? No, is that you panicked as a kid. And why did you panic and go into that? It's because you told yourself the story that you're going to have loss. I have loss. So you believe that you have loss. So that's how that you birthed as a young child. That reaction to behave that way is because you felt and loss. It doesn't mean death. It just, in this case, change is death. And then you had a change and you're like, no, you just know that what you had put meaning to is not there, or it's being taken away. And you're like, I don't want that. And in this case, it's about coming up. Interesting. That means your connections are very unstable. So something that energy should be freely giving back and forth as a clear signal becomes very disruptive, and certain things are missed. So like if you're having a conversation and you got every other word, you wouldn't know what I was talking about. So you try to piece it together and you may come up with a whole different assumption. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other clues? No? Okay, good. They're saying that you felt this all the way in your body, and this is why you have certain aches and pains that have been coming up in the neck and the back, is because you don't know how to move beyond that auto response, because the auto response is very debilitating. So it's a symptom that you're addressing. Well, I would tell you to hold L2D and then R2S, L2D and R2S. Okay, so think about what we talked about and work it through with the L2D first, get that down to 0, and notice it's about rejection, correcting yourself, or getting defensive. And then in L2S, understand it's what about me? What about me? And the obsessing and the thinking and nervousness and anxiety.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much for calling in, and we'll talk to you later, dear. I can't even remember where you're at. So I know you'll hang up because I don't know where the button is. But
Okay.
All right. So you can learn from that. Anxiety is huge with people. You got to remember, anxiety is future. And it's based on how we programmed ourselves in the past. So if you have a thought is of the mind, emotions are of the body. And if the emotion is that your body reacts to the situation, then the emotion will start to vibrate, and then you'll get the thoughts about the situation. So when people ask me about the future and any of this stuff, all I have to do is look at your entanglement cord of seeing how you did things in the past and pick it up and put it in the now, and just pick it up and put it in the future, because that's how you do anything. It's how you do everything. It just keeps repeating itself. Now, I don't understand Lori Kimmel. You says, my brother may have died last month. Do you know? So what does that mean? Is he not around? Did he die and come back to life? What direction am I supposed to find? Is he missing? I'm very curious about that. I know Laronda. Watch the video, the reruns, the little short clips, all the beginning, if you got an interest in the readings, but there's a lot of old ones you probably haven't seen that's up on YouTube, or even in here, your Facebook videos, you find them. Okay, so I have 2 shows next week. I may do a couple other shows, but that'll probably be on my other fan page. So but I will eventually put it up on here as the replay. Kimmel. I knew a Kimmel growing up. Laronda says, oh, I will. They all teach me. And yes, I have gone back. Love them all. Oh, excellent. Excellent. That's good. Yeah, you guys can keep me alive by trying to, hopefully share the videos, do whatever you need to do to help me. Because I don't want to lose all of the momentum I've got. But I really do want to just, I just want to make sure everything is... Oh, Spirit just took it away because apparently Gigi must have asked if I had my bird. Everything is in storage at this point. All well taken care of. No fears. I can go away and know that those little buggers will be fine. And this little bugger in this case is about this huge, and he's a sulfur crest, and he's in good hands. Okay. Thank you very much for everything you guys have done. I will get to all of the shared groups and the cards and all of that and reread all this tomorrow. All right. I love you all, and I will see you maybe this week, or I will see, and if I do one this week, I may end up putting it on my regular personal page. So we'll see. Don't know what Spirit's going to do, but it wants to talk. I'm glad you're not the only one either. I'm glad there's more people. All right. What do I always say? Amy, stay blessed. Yes. Stay blessed, people.